It's a very cold and still evening. Autumn is definitely here. We've got the fire on and the sunsets are getting better and better. We've got Yellow and Zoe coming over tonight. We're hosting our last flotilla meeting on Alba tonight. Going to wrap up the season and talk through what happened. So guys, last flotilla meeting. Here we are, 3 months later. How did it go? What do you think?
And no one sank.
It was an adventure.
It was a total adventure.
I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever.
Miles, Zoe and I were on the Kennet and Avon Canal in May, travelling towards the Thames. It was a busy spring for us, with loads of boat jobs and also wet weather, which prevented us from getting to the river early. In the meantime, Yellow set off from London towards us, ready to meet in Reading. It finally happened in June, where all of us met as a fleet of 3 boats with the idea of traveling together for the whole summer. To make our flotilla official, we held regular meetings, created an event calendar and came up with the name, the Summer Vibe Tribe. We spent about a month in Oxford and then turned around and travelled downstream. Miles and I made it to Windsor, and Zoe and Yellow got as far as Bourne End, where Zoe is from.
Has it changed your life, Yellow?
Yeah, it has changed my life. Being on the Thames, 3 boats all together. Decided to stay in Henley, stay on the Thames for the winter time, which I would have never have done if we hadn't have done the flotilla. So I've completely just changed my plans for the winter. So yeah, it has.
Adventure continues for you.
Yeah, we just fell in love with Henley. The river is just so wide and wild, and the nature there is just so beautiful. So didn't want to leave. There's a little bit of trepidation about what the winter's going to bring on the Thames. You know, there's the potential that it might flood, but I think we're willing to take that adventure.
Hopefully we're going to get a proper mooring for the winter for the 4 months, with big wooden pylons, so even if it does flood we're all safe, but if not we'll be bashing scaffold
waders.
poles.
We just need to buy some waders.
And buy some waders to go to the
brightly coloured ones.
Get one of those hoverboards.
Yeah.
Go to Sainsbury's on that.
Or the paddleboard. You can take the paddleboard to Sainsbury's.
Well, I had an experience. I was on my own, taking Alba closer to a place where Miles can come back from his holiday, and I had to do 4 or something donuts to get into the spot, and it was so windy. Just in that bit of the river, was not windy 10 minutes down there, and I kept ending up on the wrong side of the river because of the wind, and I was just taken, and there was no current and there was a tiny bit of wind. Well, that's how it would be in winter, like a lot more, because there's going to be wind and current.
Proper flow.
Yeah, so just look after yourselves and your boats.
We had a small incident like that just the other day. So we were coming into a lock and there was a big gust of wind, and then I was just hanging on to the ropes for Marigold really tightly, and the wind was just blowing Marigold out. But I didn't panic. We knew what to do, tied it to a bollard, and actually some lovely person came and helped out as well. But I think we're just going to take it super easy and not do too much cruising, especially when it's red boarded.
Maybe we won't be doing any cruising when it's red boarded.
Well, yeah, that's true. Apart from the paddleboard. Woohoo!
Oh wow.
But we've had loads of adventures this summer. There's so many funny things that have happened. Like do you remember when we got the boat stuck? Was it Marigold?
That's true.
Was it Marigold
when you and Rich, you had Rich and everyone over?
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun.
Was it?
It was fun because we had guests over. There was a problem, and we all had to work together as a team to solve it. So Marigold's front got beached. The wind had blown the boat. I was actually pulling in to Alba just to do it. We were just going to do a quick drive-by and just do a quick wave, and it completely backfired. The wind just blew us. Yeah.
I was on a work Zoom call and I've got.
We missed you guys. Didn't do the wave. I just ended up getting stuck in front of Alba, and then. It just took all of us. Marina came and
with an extra pole.
Yeah, to try and get us through. And we ended up having to go all of the way around just to try and wiggle out the nose. And then we gradually got free, but it was a proper team effort to free the boat.
However, there is a silver lining to that even. When I was moving on my own a couple of weeks ago, I aimed for that spot and I got there and I realised someone else is already in the spot. Because I knew that it's shallow and I can get stuck, I didn't turn around in that spot. Because if I was on my own and turn around there, which I considered I had this I can just turn around there. I was like, no. So I just had to reverse and turn around in the most awkward way, which was totally fine.
Okay.
But I was like, thank God I know.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It happened for a reason.
Thank God Zoe got stuck that once.
But with a crew of everyone there and extra 2 people, so...
And Miles waving from the
I wasn't waving, I was like, shut up!
Created quite a lot of noise. We had the engine revving to try and get out. Yeah. But we've had non-dramatic adventures as well. We had the party, we had the festival
picnic,
party.
Yeah. Thank God we did it at the beginning.
And the Football World Cup.
Just no way. Okay, well this is another question. Are we doing it next year? Is everyone up for it? And what we can definitely do again, and maybe what we would do differently.
I'm totally up for doing the flotilla next year. I think it was a great experience, and yeah, I think just inviting more people to the boats and having some more kind of people over.
Maybe next year it will be easier to plan because now we've done it, and also people have now had a taste. Like the people that came to Festy Island for that picnic party, they'll know what they
based
can expect.
On last year's ratio, there should be another 4 boats.
In the flotilla.
Or another 6 boats.
We already have Reza.
Hopefully Reza will come for next summer.
Henley
Regatta.
That was an experience to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going up and down the actual course right next to the rowers.
4 days.
And you were like, let's do it for 4 days. And we're like, 4 days, Miles? No, let's just... And we were like, no, let's just do it for 1 day.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it. We don't want to do that 4 days
I'm
in a
doing
row.
it 4 days with or without you.
And then we were all like, yeah, let's do the regatta for 4 days. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I think actually cruising the 3 boats together was a real highlight for me, particularly when we set off in
the first time at Pangbourne.
First time in Pangbourne, we all set off, and it was like, wow, we're doing it. We've been talking about it, and we were doing it. And also in Port Meadow, because it's so beautiful there, and having the 3 boats all cruising in formation, and there were people on paddle boats and walking their dogs, and there was just so much activity there. It was just really nice to cruise together.
It's interesting. We haven't actually done three boats cruising together that often. We obviously done some that we didn't film with the drone, but not as much as we would think. We actually done the 3 boats together.
And maybe next year there'll be 4, 5, 6 boats all together. That would be an interesting thing to coordinate.
Find a mooring. Res is 6 to 9 foot. Like, honestly, yeah.
Wow.
Just quadruple more.
Yeah.
Oh, with a
Like a
triple
floating
rod.
island. There's enough anchors, isn't there, between it?
Yeah, this is what we would do differently. We'll get
We'll buy
an
the
anchor.
island.
We'll get an anchor next year. What was your favourite mooring? Have you got a favourite spot?
Ooh, favourite mooring. That's a good question.
I would say Festy Spot would be up there of best moorings.
Yeah, for me as well. And I had this amazing...
Roller skating. Did I
Did
miss
you
that?
Yeah, you guys weren't there.
You didn't have any skates, and you were always asleep.
You're definitely the cruisers and you're the snoo. Well, no, I've got it the wrong round. You're the cruisers and we're the snoozers.
I think
That became
that's
apparent.
one of the main things that I've learnt this as a flotilla. Our tagline was cruising and snoozing, and now I realise why. Marina Mars are like black run cruisers. They just get on it and they're off.
Cruise like 9 hours a day, on it, focused. They get to their destination, nothing will get in their way.
And that's the cruisers style of cruising. And then there's the
snoozers.
snoozers style of cruising. Well,
Just takes 2 weeks longer.
We'll just stop here for a tea, or let's just have a cacao, or we'll just stop here for a minute. Well, let's faff around with this.
Oh, you met Gavin at the petrol station. He's got an 8-person paddleboard.
12.
Yeah, 12.
I remember there was one particular cruise that was not a long distance, but it seemed to. You guys did it in 3 hours. It seemed to take us 9 hours, and
It was the same cruise.
it was the
that
same
on
cruise.
consecutive days.
Yeah.
I
It
think
took
it's
us 9 hours.
when you guys set off in the morning and we set off after work and we got there like half an hour difference. That was it. From Abingdon to just outside of Oxford.
Yeah.
Don't know what happens. So my favourite mooring spot, I have two favourite mooring spots. One is in Pangbourne, because that is a special mooring spot for me. That is when I boat sat Alba and in like 30 degrees weather, and I fell in love with living on a boat. So it's when I decided to buy a boat, but it also has beautiful views and it's a lovely town as well. And then my second favourite mooring is Henley, because in the central location, close to everything that's going on.
I quite like, where's the one that Helen came to?
The first one, oh,
Wallingford.
Wallingford.
Wallingford. I quite like
That
Wallingford.
was nice.
No, a couple of times.
They all got different vibes. We found a mooring spot in Pangbourne.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new discovery.
Oh, last night on the Thames.
Yeah.
Amazing spot.
Where was it?
Not telling you.
It's a secret.
There's not enough room for you lot.
Oh.
It is a one boat spot, sorry. Nothing personal.
No. We'll show,
Oh, it's not a
this-
flotilla spot. Just a one boat.
There
There is
Maybe-
a whole field. They just need to go a little
So
bit around
it's
the corner. It's
Bottom end of
yeah.
Pangbourne, so where you stayed the second time.
Before the
but
lock.
it's just next to this tree overlooking a field, and it's just you, basically.
And the best thing is that in front of it, on the other side of the river, is
There's
a llama
llamas.
farm.
Oh.
And you just see those llamas popping up
Through the
all
hedge.
the time through the hedge.
With
Did
a
we
weird
have that in
mohawk.
Pangbourne? I think we might have more there in Pangbourne. Like
Let's
the
talk
spot.
about Beach Club.
Oh, beach club.
Oh, beach club.
What happens in beach club stays.
I feel like Beach Club was a significant part of the flotilla. So Beach Club was this area that was created on Alba, which was purely the paddleboard moored up next to by the stern. But it was just a place that we could all, when it was the sun was shining, we'd message each other going, anyone up for Beach Club? And then we knew that we would go to that space, to that platform, and then we would sit with our legs in the river. enjoying the sunshine at Beach Club with some
On
nice
the
Or
Swim platform.
shade. When it was really hot, sometimes it provided shade.
Mm-hmm.
I have laid on it on the days when it was like heat, like so hot, heat wave, and mid-afternoon, and I was just like dangling my hands and legs in the water, like really close to water, just like rinsing my head, just laying there for hours.
Yeah, it's like a swim platform, isn't it? When
It is,
it's
yeah.
tied up. Inspired by the mega yachts, who at the back, when they're all open up, and they have a beach club there, so it's waterside. Yeah, it did work well.
Now, you haven't used your paddleboard as a beach club yet. Maybe that's for the next year.
I've used the Marigold paddleboard as a beach club, but not with you guys. I don't think.
okay.
I don't think you've visited Marigold's beach club
Right, okay.
yet. But yeah, next flotilla season we can do that.
Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this summer wrap-up video. And if you've missed some of the episodes, we have a playlist of all our videos in order. Huge thank you to our Patreon family for making these weekly videos possible, and especially these guys showing up on the screen. Consider joining us on Patreon for bonus content and many other extra perks. We also have a Cruising Alba store of all organic clothing, so please check that out at cruisingalba.com. That's all from us this week. See you in the next one.